All right, everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today, this is after the dev stream. Dev stream 133, it was a great one. They crossed the streams and did some other weird stuff, but things I care about, they announced the Baza Prime and Navara Prime, but we'll get to her later. For the Baza, oh, there we go. For the Baza, this is what the current Baza is. I'll be going over this, where it stands, and what they'll probably do with the Baza Prime. Now, normal Baza, it's silent. That's its best gimmick. That's kind of all it has going for it. Neutral Riven Dispo, fires pretty quick, has a tiny mag. I do kind of see them doing something there with the fire rate in the magazine. As far as the crit chance, I would be pretty surprised if they didn't increase that significantly. Probably up to 30 or so. Crit multiplier, I suspect they'll leave that alone, actually. Status, they will 100% buff that. I don't have any question. And they will totally finagle down here. The IPS almost always gets reworked. I expect something else to take priority. Maybe Slash. And I suspect they'll get the biggest DPS increase down here. Now what we're going to do, Amalgam Serration. Baza's not stellar as far as like killing things. And you'll see that in a moment, and we'll go over why. After that, gonna slap on our multi-shot. Oops. As much as we can. Then we need our crit stats. Vital Sense is to get to that sweet 6.6 times and 65. Now that 65 makes me weep. Really, really badly. And it's okay. And it's not enough. It's just not enough. Don't go critical delay. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Instead, if you want to go that way, Argon Scope. Now, we will be slapping on Hunter Munitions, and then if we're putting on Argon Scope and we can only have one elemental, what's the best elemental to have? Of course, it's this one. Now, can you slap on Wildfire instead? Sure, it's less drain. You don't really want to. You could try and rework the IPS, but Slash being the lowest, and with 10% base status, it's not worth it. Not at all. So that's the build we're going to go for the current Baza. There's some fresh heavy gunners over here, and we're just going to lay into it all body shots. See a problem? I see a problem. Baza does not have the damage. It doesn't. That's not what it's there for. The Baza is for shooting sensor bars. Let's be honest. That's what you do with it. This almost the best build you can get. Now, we never procced Argon Scope. Let's go for the headshots. How many times am I going to have to reload? And yes, I find myself asking that every time I try and kill something big with the Baza. Overall time to kill isn't terrible, and the slash procs will finish it off now. As long as the heat proc lasts. Oh, nope, heat ran out. So, this is just not in a great place. Now, Vigilante M&Ms ain't the best place 60% multi-shot. We're just gonna dump it. Forget it. And if you're at this level, I do kind of expect you to have a Riven, crit chance, damage, and cold. With that, we're going to want, you guessed it, Toxin. Now, Toxin on the Riven would be better because that would free up this for primed cryo rounds, which is by far the best. Well, okay, look at your options for primed cryo. You have primed primary weapons. You have reload. No. You have ammo. Forget that. You've got the cold, and you have the Bane mods. They all kind of suck. Prime Shred can be fun. I'm not a fan of it here. So let's see how a viral slasher does. Already you're seeing the importance of getting those bigger crits. A Riven will do what you're needing the Baza to do. It'll make sure you can kill things. But in general, without a Riven, the Baza is a bit on the weaker side. It's one of the few things you can keep around, while Enivar's Prowl it's definitely not the biggest damage dealer, but it's silent. You can't get this kind of damage from most other silent weapons unless you want to grab a bow. Like I said, not the best. The Baza Prime, moderate your expectations. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure it'll have plenty of damage. But moderate your expectations. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. Actually, let's show it off a little bit. Yep. So there's the enemy. They're moving around. Huh, imagine that. Doesn't break Prowl. This is what the Baza is for. And guys, this is with a Riven. Ugh, I'm not impressed either. Does it work? Yeah. Will it kill things? Oh yeah. Ooh. That's why I keep those Feyarch Spectres around. They're there to keep things fun. They're to surprise me. Now, let's make it a little bit more reasonable. So, this is Sortie 3. We'll try one more build, because I really suck at proccing Argon Scope. It's not my jam. Then we need a dash. So, no. Why not? Or against Grenier? Why not? It's this or Vigilante Armaments. Level 100, no Riven. And remember, without the Riven before, we were just tickling them. You can make this work. But again, it's all about being silent. If it had more status, other builds would be more viable. But without that status or more status duration or another gimmick, this is not the endgame weapon. But it sure is fun and useful in places where only a bow will do. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed my expectations for Baza Prime.